This is absolutely dynamite. Right, rein it in, you're being... Whoa, Nelly! This bike is awesome. Again, I know I'm not going to clear all of them, I'm not trying to, I'm still trying to get my confidence back. I just want to see how much I can get done. This is red trail called Twisted Sister, one that I really love and I've worked on, one of the very first trails I worked on. And there's a lot of work been going on with Dean Trail volunteers recently, particularly the Saturday crew. And I thought, well, so duck. Yep, let's do this. Let's test the Magura brakes on the cliff of death. Going down as slowly as I can. Oh, gosh, they are quite cheeky. Oh my gosh. Crikey alive. They are. That is just... I'm going to have to do that again. So as we're doing climbs here, this is the Enduro Hill one, which is quite a feisty one. And I thought I'd just show you, yes, you can again start in that eco mode, but not just Tour Plus this time, the blue. I want to go into the purple EMTB Intuitive, and it's just, oh.
Hello you absolute legends, and thank you so much for joining me today where I'm at Peddler Bikeaway in the Forest of Dean, and I had a chance to take this bike out earlier this year and again more recently from the bike hire location that's at Peddler Bikeaway and is associated with the shop where I got my bike from, and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't dreaming about everything I'd experienced the first time. As a proud Dean Trail volunteer, I was bold enough to ask the owner Ian on trail day one day if I could take this bike out, namely the replacement for my 2024 Whyte E160 RSX, which I love, that has helped me progress as a rider and taken me places I never even dreamed of. Wanted to know what changes had been made, if they'd made a difference, and tried to understand why the Kado Rangers replaced my bike. Now I can absolutely assure you that they have made the right decision, implemented the necessary changes, because this bike is absolutely fantastic. This is the stunning 2025 Whyte Kado RSX, and in today's video I'm going to take the RSX out for a spin, as well as break down the tech and price for this bike and the Kado S model in the tech section of the video. I will take you on a shakedown ride to demonstrate how I prepare a bike for testing on various trails, jumps, drops, climbs and other features ranging from blue to black trails. This will cover everything I did when testing the E160S last year, ensuring that this bike meets my expectations. And don't forget, this review is from a below average rider whose passion for Whyte has grown since I purchased my 2024 Whyte E160 RSX last year. Please note that in some videos you may hear a creaking sound, and after a couple of descents the creak was fixed by Ollie the mechanic at the Peddler Bikeaway shop. Of course they clean, service and check the bikes every single day, but I'd already taken 5 miles of B-roll footage, that's when the creak occurred, but was quickly resolved. My passion for the bike, for Whyte, from the design, the customer service and my local bike shop will hopefully come through today. This is an independent review, it's not sponsored, it's just me sharing my love of Whyte bikes and what I've learned about them, from the bike, the design itself, the Bosch motor and its intuitiveness, the Bosch Flow app, the SRAM gears, also the SRAM app, all from 1300 miles of riding my E160. I certainly hope you will enjoy this video, I hope it entertains you, and as the video unfolds, that at the very least it will give you all the information you need to make an informed decision, not just about this bike and whether it's right for you, although I think it's incredible, but actually about EMTBs and the sorts of things you can achieve on an EMTB when you get one. Getting my EMTB has helped me progress massively on the bike, from the number of rides I can do to the locations I can explore, all with that extra aggression I've gained on this bike compared to my first one. So please join me as we go down our first descent, the Blue Trail at the Forest of Dean Launchpad, and I struggle to get my words out because I'm having so much fun.
Okay my friends, we're going to drop into Launchpad now. I'm not going to try and go crazy fast, I just want to see what she's like. Oh, cheekiness! Wow! Again, I'm going to go straight back into that whole fact that it's only physically 3 kilograms lighter, 3 bags of sugar, yet it just feels like, wow! That's just insane. That's just absolutely insane. Again, it's a demo bike, it's a new bike like a new pair of shoes. I don't want to be silly on this trail. I'm going to be a bit respectful. But already on these berms of lushness, it's like, wow. Wow. I'm just going to rein it in a little bit. I'm getting a bit too excited. Yeah, nimble, playful, joyful. Wow, this bike is awesome. I'm sorry about the creaking. The bike has got about 900 miles on it. It's a demo bike. And again, I'm not going to go too fast around that corner. I'm slowing right down to prove a point. You don't need to brake bump there. You can actually pump just as much speed coming out here. This is absolutely dynamite. Right, rein it in, you'll be in. Whoa, Nelly! This bike is awesome. Right, yeah, I'm gonna have to think of words in a minute. I can't at the moment. Oh my gosh. Awesome sauce. Hello, you absolute legends, and here we are again. We are in the Forest of Dean, and as you've seen earlier from the other information I've shared, I am on the 2025 Whyte Kado RSX for the day. Cheekily got myself a hold of it again for another ride, combining a ride from earlier this year with this one to hopefully give you as much information as I can, as I love Whyte, their customer service, the bikes themselves, and this bike is an absolute dream come true. And of course, together with my faithful and forever companion Duck Duck. How you doing, buddy? Awesome. We're going to take you on a bimble around the forest today to enjoy some fun, some adventures, and hopefully tell you a bit more about what this bike is capable of, my friends. I'm really chuffed that having that 1300 miles experience that I've had on my bike, my Whyte E160 RSX from 2024, the intuitiveness of the motor, the Bosch Flow app, even using the SRAM AXS system for the gears and the mech, it's been incredible. The Whyte customer service, my local bike shop who've looked after me so incredibly well. This is why I'm such a massive advocate of buying locally, supporting your local business. But I've had friends that have bought bikes out of a box. The problem with that is they've got to send it back in a box. One of my friends bought a bike online and they said it would be 3 months before he got the bike back. If that's the only bike you've got, that's a lot of time off the saddle. I consider myself to be quite a fit individual. I go to the gym, I have a healthy diet. I didn't need an EMTB. I just wanted something that's a bit more aggressive, and why not have a motor, as I said in my last video about these Whyte bikes. This bike has given me, the EMTB, a chance to meet more people, go on more rides, explore areas I never thought possible. It's actually helped me to progress as a rider. And that's why I'm excited now to share that with you in this video, in the different things that we're going to show you today. I say me and Duck Duck. Isn't that right, Duck Duck? Awesome. Straight off the bat, this bike is physically 3 kilograms lighter than mine. That's no difference than 3 bags of sugar, or me going on a fairly decent diet for a while. But I think it's the fact that you've got the carbon frame, lower bottom bracket, you've got a slightly more aggressive seat angle, and the fact that you've also got now that 20% more efficiency, which I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about, but Bosch have said that these bikes have 20% more efficiency. You've also got the fact that you've got that range, you've got the 100 Newton meters of torque now from that July update. You've got the 700 or 750 watts of power. I apologise, I can't remember, I'm concentrating on the trail. That'll be in the top left of the screen. And the fact that I'm an absolute muppet. My apologies, but I am a chap and we are not supposed to multitask.
So we've done a blue trail now, let's go ahead and check out a red tech trail. This is the lower section of Twisted Sister at the Forest of Dean, my friends.
Right, I'm just going to jump into this red section here. This is red trail called Twisted Sister, one that I really love and I've worked on, one of the very first trails I worked on. And there's a lot of work been going on with Dean Trail volunteers recently, particularly the Saturday crew. And I thought, well, oh, so I'm so sorry. Cheeky text section. That was Katie Curd there. She's awesome, she's coach. My coach is Sam. They're obviously sessioning this section for practice, but that's absolutely awesome to include her in the video. So just go down through here. Oh look, this is the cobbled section here. And I think a lot of the work has been carried out here where they're trying to direct people. Too many Strava lines were being put in, and what with the washout that we've had recently, it's turned into a bit of a fun factory of line choices. Let's just have a look. Oh yes, awesome sauce. Let's just drop down this side, outside line, awesome. Again, just checking out those changes they've made. Awesome stuff. Wow, look at all the work they've put in. That's absolutely fantastic. Wow. Yeah, this is a perfect trail, a red technical trail. You just see how this bike handles. and it's an absolute delight, isn't it? Right, I'm not going to try and jump these, I want to try and pump them. There we go, bike body separation. Nice, into some berms. Awesome. Wow. This bike is just capable of anything, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh, nurse, this is just amazing. Oh, wow. I just take a moment, Jason. Key takeaways. Yeah, Twisted Sister is looking awesome. Saturday crew, nice job. Yeah, the Magura brakes are definitely a step up. I'm obviously not going to justify buying a new bike right now. But my God, if I could, I would buy this one. But at the very least, I think I'm going to take away and maybe think about changing my Kado RSCs to these Maguras. But that's the thing, isn't it? You know, you ride a different bike with different components. The first bike I bought off my friend was a new to me bike. It was a 2018 Santa Cruz Tallboy. Came with SRAM TL brakes, 1 pistons, and that's all I was used to. I've then gone ahead and upgraded to the 2024 Whyte Kado E160 RSX, and that's got the Kado RSCs, which are 2 pistons, absolutely fantastic, and they are brilliant. But now experiencing these properly, these Kado RSCs are just really dynamic. Well, let's talk about this Kiox display, the 400. It's absolutely beautiful, much like this Forest. Aesthetically pleasing, just behind the bars there. It's almost Jason proof. I do tend to crash a lot. I got the original controller, of which the technical name will be up in the screen up here. I then upgraded to the Purion 400 because I'm a bit of a geek and a nerd and I want my data. But as I am Sir Crash a lot, you can see that after my North Nibley incident, and luckily I carry first aid, so a little bit of first aid tape made everything okay until I could get it repaired. I think this sleek design behind the handlebars is absolutely fantastic, and it's got all the data I need in it. Going through the different modes, I've got my miles. The total miles so far today have been 20. 2.5 hours of riding. You can see the estimates there. Again, I'll show the more fully charged battery when I go through the tech section later. Battery's on 66%. My phone's not connected, but if it was connected, it would actually give me the information I need. I've also got 47 to 81, 86 power. Again, I don't know what that means. And I've got cadence at 79, don't know what that means. And then the total miles the bike's done, 968. Now it's done 968 miles. So it's not going to give you the same sort of data that you would have if the bike was new to you. My Gen 4 has got to understand how I work, how I ride, how I use the bike, and I can now get an estimated eco range of 85 miles. It's intuitive, it learns from you each time you ride the bike. It learns from you each pedal stroke, each changing of the gear, and that's what's so fantastic about the Bosch motor. Mine's a Gen 4 and I love it. This is the Gen 5 that's got that upgraded power output, where you've now gone from 85 Newton meters to 100 Newton meters of torque. And you've also gone from a 600 watts of power to, I believe, 750, but again, it will be up in the screen. It's just phenomenal what Bosch have done. So we'll go through these modes. I'll go through more data with you later in the tech sections, but just to physically see, you've got the eco mode here, green, giving you the least amount of resistance. Obviously, then knock it up one to blue. This is your Trail Plus or Tour. That gives you a little bit more resistance or push. And then you go up to your purple mode, EMTB, the most intuitive mode. That's the mode that actually helps you fluctuate between eco and Tour Plus or Trail. And a friend of mine recently took his bike out. He's got a Bosch motor. He found that a route that he normally does all the time in the Cotswolds, he does it on eco and then Trail, Tour Plus all the time. But this time he did it in EMTB mode. He found they had more battery left at the end of it. Obviously, when you're sticking it in Trail all the time, you're going at one set mode. With EMTB automatic, it fluctuates. It's absolutely brilliant. And so that automatic mode is fantastic. And even though I'm in and on a flat surface, I'll do this once because it's just I don't like it. This is the no, it's just, I'm just going to show you. I just don't like it. No, I'm sorry, I just don't like it at all. There is no need for it. There is no need for it at all. And thrice, nobody needs a nutter mode. Nobody needs a nutter mode. It's just, if I honestly stuck in that mode, I'd honestly hurt myself.
So let's drop into a black trail now. I haven't ridden this one for quite some time, but this is a black trail called Elephant Man in the Forest of Dean, and it's going to definitely test the braking.
100% sure. Now, it's a cheeky trail. I know it's got lots of line choices, a few jumps and drops, and it's going to test the brakes, definitely. My ability to have some sensible line choices. And I just want to see how these Maguras stand up. The bike is just, yes, it's just bouncing through everything. It's stupid again to say, but it's physically how light it feels. Maybe the better word again, is it nimble? Is that what it is? Is it nimble? I'm not 100% sure. I missed that feature. I don't know. It's just, the bike is joyous to ride. Let's go around these routes, and I know it gets a bit like Spaghetti Junction down here, so I want to figure out what is my best line choice, because if I'm not mistaken, it splits into about 25 different options. Now that's definitely the line there. Okay. Now, I think I want to keep bearing left. I'm gonna try and keep bearing left. You see how it's all split around there? Let's try down here. I'm sure someone will tell me if I've done this wrong. And then, is it down through here, or is that, did I just take a Strava line? Oh, that is so rude. I'm so sorry. I can promise I didn't mean to do that intentionally. That was awesome. Wow.
I think this brings us on perfectly now to testing the brakes out on the Cliff of Death. And yes, okay, I can go down it at a normal speed now, but I call it the Cliff of Death because that's what it forever should be named, because it was the first time I went down a trail like this on my first proper group ride, and I think it's a perfect place to test these brakes.
The reason I'm here on this braking section is to give those Magura brakes a go, because one of the first lessons I had with my coach Sam Kopp, who is a bit of a legend, he got me to go down this as slowly as I could. And that's what I want to replicate today, going down something that is actually quite steep, using those Magura brakes and finding out how good they are. Right, with any trail I always like to start a little bit further back because I'm obsessed about getting my feet in the pedals, and as all my friends know, I'm so clumsy, I've been told I'm never allowed to have clips. So, duck duck. Yep. Let's do this. Let's test the Magura brakes on the Cliff of Death. Going down as slowly as I can. Oh, gosh, they are quite cheeky. Oh my gosh. Crikey alive. They are. That is just... I'm going to have to do that again. I've got Kado RSCs on my bike, and I know everyone seems to make fun of SRAM. I don't know, I've not known anything different. But... that was, just make sure if what I've just done is right. Cliff of Death, take 2. Oh wow, that is just the refinement on those. As I've said, my first bike I bought off a friend had SRAM TL brakes, 1 pots, and I've got the Kado RSCs on my bike SRAM, and they are awesome. But the first time I came down, I was braking quite hard to make sure I did it, and the second time I wanted to refine it, and it just had so much control coming down that hill. Again, I'm sorry, I am easily pleased, but that was pretty darn cool.
Now, I thought we'd look at climbing. That's one of the main reasons I bought my EMTB. This is a trail/enduro bike that is fantastic at climbing and equally brilliant at descending as well. With that slightly lower bottom bracket and more aggressive seat angle, it's an absolute pleasure and a treat to climb these trails to get to the trailhead. And that, of course, then leads me to get those treasures of descending, gaining more experience and hopefully leading to more competence and confidence. So let's have a little bit of a look at climbing and how fantastic it is on this Kado RSX.
So as we're in this climbing section, the first one I wanted to go through with you was climbing in eco mode, for example on the Verderers Trail. Something I do on a lot of trail riding I do. I'm obviously going to go through some more ferocious climbing later on Enduro Hill. But again, this bike is versatile in any mode that you put it in. And I do most of my riding in eco all the time. My friends think I'm insane. What I love, and I can't wait for you to try, is to go from eco and actually put it in blue for that first time and feel that kick up your backside. It's absolutely incredible. So just on the climbing section here, something I struggled with on my MTB quite a bit when it first opened up was this section. And obviously, even in eco mode, it's just, I think you can see it's making rather easy work of it, isn't it? How awesome is that? So as we're doing climbs here, this is the Enduro Hill one, which is quite a feisty one. And I thought I'd just show you, yes, you can again start in that eco mode, but not just Tour Plus this time, the blue. I want to go into the purple EMTB Intuitive, and it's just, oh, it's lovely. It's so nice. And obviously one of the things that is awesome is that when you then reach the top, and using this Enduro Hill as an example, I'm now at this side of the forest where I've got the Red Trail tight and twisty to do. Or I can pop over to Elephant Man and Y2K, the black trails. Again, the climbing is all part of the rewards you receive once you've done that.
So now we're at the top of the hill there. You've seen me go up Enduro Hill, and that's Elephant Man, which we've already seen, and that's the benefits of doing those climbs and parts of sessioning, being able to go up and down and up again and practice trails like this TNT, which is where you saw me arrive at the top of Enduro Hill. The ability to take this trail is fantastic. It's an incredibly tight trail. It's very twisty, and it's great at low speed skills again. Something I love about sessioning is the ability to do these trails and have so much fun. As you're seeing me popping into this red descent here on the other side, if you look at this trail, it's flowy and fun. It allows me to check my bike body position, it checks my braking, line choice. Everything about this trail is fast, flowy and fun, and it's something that lasts only a minute or so, and it is so enjoyable. But the beauty of the ability to practice or session as they call it, is that I can then finish this trail, and instead of carrying on, I can just stop here and I can take a left and I can go back up this fire road here, and at the top of the fire road, that's when I'm then going to come to the top of the trailhead again, because I'm literally only a few meters from it. This is the benefit of sessioning or practicing, and what I've really benefited from in having an EMTB, the ability to practice and session again and again, my friends. If you have just jumped to this section using the timestamp, thank you so much for joining me. This is the tech section, and for those of you who are still with me on this video, I'm genuinely humbled and blown away. This is the 2025 Whyte Kado RSX, and the very best price I could find in August of 2025 was £7,499. This is a trail/enduro, and I know it's an aggressive trail/enduro because that's what they told me about my E160, and this has got a slightly lower bottom bracket and an even more aggressive seat angle. This particular model has got a carbon frame, and weighed at the shop, the chaps told me it was 24 kilograms dead weight. The Fox are the Fox Float 38 Performance Elites, giving you about 160mm of travel up front, and the shock is the Fox Float X Performance Elite DPS, giving you about 150mm of travel at the rear. It's a complete 29er all round, and the brakes are the Magura MT7 4-pots, and they are awesome. The drivetrain on this one is the same as mine actually. It's the SRAM XS 1275 T-Type. That's the important thing. It's the T-Type 12-speed. Of course, you've also got that Bosch Gen 5 motor. With the latest update in July 25, you've now got 100 Newton meters of torque and 750 watts of power. The fantastic thing about this bike is you've got an 800 watt battery, but what's mind-blowing is for the S, RS and RSX, you can now put on a range extender, something you cannot do with my bike, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. In fact, it's quite frankly genius. And if you have just joined me using the timestamp in the video, I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And for those who are still with me, you genuinely blow me away. Thank you. This is again the 2025 Whyte Kado S, and the retail best price I could find in August 2025 was £3,999. The bike is again the same as the RSX. It's a trail/enduro, a very aggressive trail bike, and it's got a lower bottom bracket than mine, and it's also got a slightly more aggressive seat angle. This makes it again even more aggressive, and again trail/enduro, not downhill. It's got an aluminium frame at 25.7 kilograms. The forks are the RockShox Silo Golds, giving you about 160 travel up front, and the shock is the RockShox Deluxe Selector, giving you about 150mm travel at the rear. Again, 29-inch all round. The brakes on this one, though, of course, are the Shimano M400 4-pots. And then, of course, we've got the drivetrain. This one has got the cassette, which is the Shimano CS LG400 11-speed. Now, all of the bikes throughout the range share that same Bosch CX Gen 5 motor with that July update of 2025 with 100 Newton meters of torque and 750 watts of power. For an S model, that's just incredibly for an entry-level bike. The battery on this one is 600 watts, but again, you can have a range extender on all of the bikes, giving an entry-level EMTB a potential of an 850 watt battery. I mean, key takeaways so far, there are just so many, but the caveats being I love that Purion display. Maybe it's because I'm a geek, but it's aesthetically pleasing behind the bars, and it's Jason-proof as well. I also love the fact that you've got that lower bottom bracket again, which Whyte seem to be obsessed about. The slightly more aggressive seat angle, it's still beautiful on the climbs, especially with that additional power and torque in the motor and the output you've got. But on the descending, it's so buttery smooth as well. Again, words come to mind: joyful, playful, fun, nimble. It almost wants to dance. What blows my mind is the fact you can have a range extender on these bikes, which you can't have with mine throughout the entire range. That means that on the base level bike, you could put on that 600 watt battery. You could get it to 850 watts for a bike that's £3,999, a full fat bike with that Bosch Gen 5 motor. That's just incredible. And let's talk about the apps. The SRAM AXS app is brilliant. The buttery smooth changing of gears when you're doing them. I got my bike home and the first thing I did is put it on the stand, changed gears and just watch how smooth it was. The AXS app means that you also get firmware updates. I can obviously check the power through my changing control unit and also the battery at the back, but you don't need to worry about that anymore because the Kado has the power come from the mech from the bike itself. Bosch app as well is absolutely incredible. Firmware updates also meaning you don't have to take it to a shop all the time. You can also change more dynamic things as well. You can change how much output you get from Eco, Tour Plus, EMTB, even Boost or Nutter mode. You can also change how much the dynamic pedal strokes assist you as well, how much push through you get, how much assistance you get, how much power you get, or whether you want speed or if you want torque. So much can be done. I've still got mine on the default settings for my Gen 4 motor and I absolutely love it. And let's talk about these modes now. In green, Eco, the least amount of resistance, you'd have a range of about 62 miles or 99 kilometers. For blue, which is Trail Plus or Tour, you'd have a range of about 38 miles or 61 kilometers. And for purple, which is your EMTB or automatic mode, a range of about 31 miles and 48 kilometers. I don't have the actual details in front of me for the EMTB Plus, which is part of the update, but I also know that with the red boost, as you can see, you've got an estimated range of 29 miles or 46 kilometers. And of course, this is on a bike that's a rental, it's a demo bike, it's had 960 or so miles with different people riding it in different ways. I am 100% confident if you got the bike from scratch, if you got the bike from new, out of the box and you made it your own, much like I've made mine my own in the way that I ride, the way that I change gear and the way that I use the bike, I am very confident you'd have much longer ranges than that, particularly over time. Just before I surmise everything, I'd like to finish on a positive. I finally got to clear some jumps again. I was clearing them all so easily before I had my accident recently, but I lost my confidence, and back on this bike demoing again, I cleared some jumps and I'm over the moon about it, my friends.
Try this jump line again, very tentatively. I'm not going to try and win any awards, but I want to practice a little bit. Let's give it a go. Yep, cheeky. Very cheeky. Okay, I'm not trying to do anything impressive here. I just want to see what the bike is like. It'd be a fool to try and be silly. Again, I am still trying to get my confidence back after my recent whoops-a-daisy. Right, let me practice a little bit here and see if I can get a tiny bit more confidence. Right, let's try that again. Again, I know I'm not going to clear all of them. I'm not trying to. I'm still trying to get my confidence back. I just want to see how much I can get done. you know, the bike is awesome, nimble, agile even. Again, I am reining in, but I'm happy to do that and just have an awesome time. This bike is mint.
Just before I finish my summation and my thanks to all of you and a couple more bits of information that I hope you'll find useful, I really do appreciate the fact that I got to use this bike twice, and thank you so much to Pedal a Bike Away and Pedal Syndicate for allowing me to do that. Taking it away April here where I had the chest mount on, and I've changed the way that I have my camera angle now. It's just such an honour to be able to ride these trails on such a magnificent bike. I was blown away by how dynamic, fun and joyful the bike is. I hope that on this journey, if you're still with me, thank you, and I'm humbled that you are. This has been such an exciting time with this bike, and really hoping that I can do my best to represent a British brand that I'm so incredibly proud of. We'll finish on the last couple of black trails that I took as B-roll earlier. And I just wanted again to say thank you for your kind words, your support, everything you've done for me. You blow me away with how nice you are and how supportive you are. I sometimes have accidents that I call whoops-a-daisies, and they do knock my confidence, but I get back on the bike again and I slowly rebuild them back up. And it's through the community, through people like you, that I've been able to do that. I can only hope that I've shared a positive insight today on a bike from somebody who is not yet an average rider, and somebody who is learning and still trying to learn about all the different things that bikes have to offer. It's been an absolute pleasure, so let's jump into some final thoughts on these last black trails, my friends. I really hope you've stuck around with me to the end of this video. I really enjoyed making it for you. It's been a few weeks of putting it together in my spare time, and I'm so passionate about Whyte bikes, but the Bosch motor blows my mind, the new design has blown my mind. I really would like to know what you think. What have you thought about the Whyte Kado RSX or the Kado S model and the specs and the price points on it and that Bosch Gen 5 motor and the information I shared? I may have got some things wrong, and I do apologise. I've done as much research as I can. I've been blown away by the actual fact that I could get this bike not just once but twice, and that's because I'm a bit cheeky. Being the fact that I started MTB at the age of 52 years ago, I call that the cliff of death because that's what it was for me. Going down that trail for the first time on a proper group ride, my second only time really on the bike, it was more than I'd ever thought I could achieve. I, within a few months, joined Dean Trail Volunteers, and I've been a volunteer for the last 2 years, and it's that cheekiness that while on a dig one day I spoke to the owner of Pedal a Bike Away and said, look, this new Kado is out, can I have a go on it, and if so I'll do a video for you. I'm not sponsored, I'm not getting any money for it, but I am just so passionate about this bike, about the brand, the way I've been treated by Whyte customer service, the company themselves, and the fact that I'm putting the details in the description of Pedal Syndicate because they really did look after me. And I'm a huge supporter of buying local, supporting British business wherever you can. And for those of my friends who have bought bikes from a online shop and out of a box as it were delivered to them, I can't advocate more how fantastic it's been that if I've got a question or a problem I can take it to my bike shop and they will help me get it resolved. Massively promoting small businesses, local and British businesses. I also love the fact that the hire shop is there so that I was actually able to demonstrate the E160S last year, and they'll take the price off for the bike. That meant that I had an entire day in the forest testing the bike, making sure I could do a shakedown like this today and ensuring that the bike was everything I thought it could be. Again, a massive thank you to Ian the owner and Gary the manager as well, Joe from the bike shop, Sean the manager of the bike hire, Ollie the mechanic, everyone involved. Thank you for allowing me to have this bike looking after me and giving me the opportunity to take out such a dream bike. I certainly would love to have your comments, your thoughts. What do you think about the Whyte brand? Have you got an EMTB, an MTB from Whyte? Any thoughts you got or any feedback would be truly appreciated. My name is Jason. I have so much yet to learn. I hope one day to be an average rider. I'm rather excited to say that. And as a Dean Trail volunteer, I'm very proud to have given back a little bit that I've received from this community that has given me so very, very much. I'm humbled and honoured that you've stayed with me on this journey. I'm blown away by the lovely feedback and comments you've given me. And my friends, it is an absolute pleasure to have ridden with you today. My name is Jason, and until I see you on the next ride, my friends, I will wish you now and always many, many happy trails.